Okay, you have 1 more minute. Try and generate 2 more wild ideas, wildly different ideas to address your problem statement. Okay, how many had 5 ideas? Anybody have 5? 6? Anybody 6? 7? Cool. All right. Okay, this is, just listen for a second before you start moving. This is one of the hardest parts coming up. You are going to share the ideas, your sketches, with your partner. Now, a tendency is to defend what you have come up with, okay? You've got to let it go and just, I can start going into Frozen if you want to, but I won't do that to you. But anyway, you just need to let go. Use this as an opportunity to gain more insight to understanding what works for your partner in this. So spend the time listening to your partner's reactions and questions. This is not about validating your ideas. Fight the urge to explain and defend, but it's another opportunity to learn more about your partner's feelings and motivations, okay? So you're going to have 3 minutes each, which is not a long amount of time. Note what ways that you can take the ideas that you had and build on them. Learn more about your partner and then build on that for the next step, okay? Go, 3 minutes each, and I'll tell you when to switch.
and I did all the lectures and whatnot, do we absolutely have to be here if we're doing EPICS for a second semester, or can we just make up our lecture credits with skill sessions?
You can make it up with skill sessions. The only required lecture for returning students is the first one. Otherwise, returning students, this is only required for new students.
Thank you.
Okay. So hopefully you got good feedback. The next 2 steps you will do as homework. So the first part, what you'll do is you'll spend about 3 minutes reflecting on what you learned originally and what you learned as a result of presenting your solutions, your sketches to your partner, and come up with a new solution. All right? For this new understanding, then you would sketch a new idea here. Try and provide as much detail and color around the idea as possible. And how might this solution fit in the context of your partner's life? So you'll do that first for 3 minutes, and then you will spend exactly, well, no, don't spend more than 7 minutes generating a prototype. And you will use any material that you have, paper, tape, whatever. We have stuff in the lab if you don't have anything to draw from. 7 minutes. Do not want you to spend hours on this. The idea is quick prototyping and what can you learn. It needs to be, can you guys be quiet just a second? The quieter you are, the sooner we can get done. Okay, it needs to be a physical prototype. It needs to be something you can hand to your partner in lecture next week. So you need to bring it to lecture next week, sit with your partner, and you're going to finish up this exercise by actually getting feedback from the physical prototype that you create as a result. If you cannot do all of your design, that is fine. Maybe there's an aspect that you really want to get feedback on, prototype that part, okay, related to that. Any questions about what you need to do related to this? Okay, so 10 minutes. I don't want you spending more than 10 minutes on this, but do spend 10 minutes on this and bring your prototype to lecture. Okay, let me just finish up. I have one more slide. So these reflection questions are in the notebook under the reflection question area of the OneNote notebook if you're using them. If you're not using them, we have found that using these questions as prompts help to actually help you actually create some good reflections. So when one of the common struggles that some students have in EPICS on, especially this area of reflection, what does it mean? It's not a journal, it's not a Dear Diary, it's not even a summary of what you've done. That isn't what we're trying to get at. We're trying to get at what you have learned, how you learned it, and what will you do differently as a result of that. So it can be related to many different aspects of what you do. It could be about your professional life. Maybe you have found your passion as a designer, and that's something you want to pursue. You can talk about that. Maybe it is something that you've identified as a certain kind of technology or approach was actually effective or not effective as a strategy. Maybe you've realized something about your project partner or the social context, how maybe the US and how they enable or disable or not enable people with disabilities. Okay, it can be about the broader context in which you're actually operating in. So it can be all of those different ways. But these 4 questions, if you follow them, will help you to actually do a good job with the reflection, and that's something that people kind of often kind of struggle with in EPICS. Some of the other stuff is more clear, but these are the kinds of things that we're talking about related to this. Okay, any questions? Yes?
Do we need you to fill in slide?
Yep, that's the last slide. Okay, oh, almost. Homework, bring your prototype. If you have not reviewed the design, the EPICS design process document, review it. And what we're going to talk about too are commonalities between the experience you're going through and what we teach or have in our EPICS design process. Finally, attendance. Your name, your 10-digit Purdue ID. True for question 1. We do not need your section. We don't need that. Okay? It takes a little while to get these posted. We actually have to turn them in, get the file, get it uploaded. So don't expect it to be instantaneous for that. Danny, Jihan, can you move to the back, go by each door? So make sure you hand it to one of the TAs or myself.